Hey, it's Clay Trader, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol SBGL. We will take a look at the daily time frame. Not sure I've ever done this analysis before, but had quite a few questions, and rightfully so. Quite the gap down, big volume, but that presents a pretty interesting setup going forward. So what I want to do with this is just map out some areas of support, and then, if any sort of bounce does start to happen, where are some of these key battlegrounds? Why do I even imply a bounce could be happening? Well, today after the gap down, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have traded for a while, but some stocks you see that gap down and then they just keep bleeding and bleeding and bleeding, and then you get some red candle. But that wasn't the case here. Yeah, the price pulled back a little bit, but by the time the closing bell had rolled around, nice little green candle there. Now, don't get me wrong, I wish the market was this easy, and I wish I could say, well, because there is a gap down, because there is big volume, and because there is a green candle that formed, this is for sure going to bounce. That's not quite how the market works. Now, would I be shocked to see some sort of bounce next week? No, that would not be shocking, but no such thing as a guarantee, so I'm not sitting here telling you to grab your kids' college tuition money and throw it all in here because it is for sure going to bounce. But definitely an interesting setup. So let's map out some areas of support. And to this, we're going to have to go back quite a bit of ways into the chart history here. And the first reason that the chart's kind of taking a little bit of interest is in regards, you can see right here, it's basically bottoming out right here around this point of price congestion here. Is it exact? No, but I think we can all agree there is a price congestion point from back here from a couple years ago. So keep in mind where that green line's coming from, and we'll zoom back in here to an extent. There we go, and there we go. So that is where the green line is coming from right there, and you can see, didn't quite bounce directly off it, but like I said, we can all agree everything is within the vicinity. So that just adds to the fact that, okay, wow, gap down, nice green candle, and all this happened at big volume, maybe a bounce is going to happen. Now, if a bounce does happen, where are some of these key levels of resistance at? Now, the first point of resistance is, if any sort of bounce is going to happen is, well, where did it struggle to push through today? And that high of today right there at 558. So if any sort of bounce is going to happen at all, 558 is that first hurdle that needs to be cleared. Because if it can't clear it like it did, or couldn't do today, well, then obviously there's not going to be any sort of bounce. Next key overall area of resistance on a bounce, right up there around the $6.15 mark. So 6.15 next bounce if the price can break, or next level of resistance if the price can break through $5.60. Now, I'm not saying that if it breaks there within 2 seconds, it's going to be all the way up there. But from a technical perspective, there's a lot of space between the areas of resistance here, so we'll see what happens, and which is why these are always interesting setups when you can get that gap down. And then the price seems to do a pretty good job of absorbing all the selling, which at this point it did do. So is this going to bounce? That remains to be seen, but keep an eye on these technical levels, and we'll see what happens on Monday. One of the biggest questions that I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now, and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.